Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news.
Boy, that's a sassy scarf you got on this morning, by the way. I
sassy
just want you to know,
scarf?
you look so sassy.
See, this
sassy
the thing.
is the word to use
He
this
says,
morning. You
my
look
ass is
flamboyant.
usually out and I get a cold. So now when I wear a scarf to make sure I'm warm,
Because it ain't
it's
that warm
sassy.
in this room for you to have on that sassy scarf. You look like you just want to give style or something. You styling.
I'm being warm.
Fashion forward.
Sky head. He wants to make me sassy for everything. All right. Now, sports. Sunday Night Football. The Dolphins beat the Commanders. The Packers beat the Giants. The Texans beat the Titans.
Say
the Bears beat the
that
Vikings.
last one a
You
little
heard me
slow.
say it, man. We said it.
Blew that game.
Definitely blew that game. We blew the last 4 games. The Eagles beat the Lions. The Broncos beat the Chiefs. The 49ers beat the Cardinals. Jaguars beat the Chargers. The Panthers beat the Falcons. Steelers beat the Bengals. The Rams beat the Seahawks. And the Ravens beat the Browns. Tonight on Monday Night Football, the Cowboys are going to lose to the Vegas Raiders at 8:15.
I'm not even going to stay up for the game. I'm telling you that right now. Now, you ain't going to mess up my good sleep time, Cowboys. Love you all to death, but nope.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, Envy. Good morning, Charlamagne. How y'all
Peace,
doing
Mimi.
this morning?
Good.
Good morning. All right, so we start this morning in Washington, where the Trump administration is introducing a new proposal that would require millions of Americans to reapply for food stamps. Now, officials say they want everyone on SNAP, that's the program that helps 42 million Americans buy food, go through a new eligibility review in an effort to crack down on fraud. Now, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, she said the administration is reassessing SNAP to make sure it is what they call strictly need-based. Let's listen.
Never before has the federal government asked for the data, but it is a new day. President Trump is the president. We know there's a lot of fraud. We need to help partner with you all to figure out how to make sure that this money and these benefits go to those who truly need it. 29 states, mostly the red states, responded with their data sets. But here's the most unbelievable news I have really just over the last few days. That 5,000 dead people, that was just 1 month. The number is closer to 186,000 deceased men and women and children in this country are receiving a check. This is just data from those 29 mostly red states. Can you imagine when we get our hands on the blue state data, what we're going to find? It's going to give us a platform and a trajectory to fundamentally rebuild this program, have everyone reapply for their benefit, make sure that everyone that's taking a taxpayer-funded benefit through SNAP or food stamps, that they literally are vulnerable and they can't survive without it.
Well, anti-hunger groups are pointing out that there's no specific data to back that. They argue the administration is overstating the level of fraud. They also point out that most households have to already recertify every 6 months and keep their work and income information up to date, meaning states already have to recheck eligibility on a regular basis. Now, the administration, though, they still have not explained how or when this crackdown would start or what that process would look like. And this comes after SNAP ran out of federal funding during the shutdown, sparking criticism from President Trump about the size and the cost of the program. SNAP costs about $1 billion last year. The average participant receives about $6 a day in benefits. Now, Rollins says she plans to unveil a broader overhaul of SNAP in the coming weeks, but this renewed focus comes as Republicans push to show that they are serious about cutting federal spending. Earlier this year, that one big, beautiful bill, it slashed $186 billion from SNAP and added new work requirements, the biggest overhaul in decades.
Yeah, I've never seen an administration, at least in my lifetime, go out of their way to make people's lives miserable. I mean, everything that can help people in the smallest way, it seems like this administration is just hell-bent on cutting.
Mm-hmm. Especially food benefits, which you would think would be off the table. Mm-hmm. So, and if grocery prices, speaking of food, have felt a little out of control for basics like beef, coffee, bananas, oranges, and tomatoes, the White House is now trying to undo some of the pressure caused by its own tariff policies. Now, President Trump signed an executive order on Friday rolling back a long list of tariffs on more than 200 imported food items. That includes beef, coffee, tropical fruits, tea, cocoa, spices. These were tariffs he originally put in place as part of his push to make other countries pay to sell goods in the U.S., but now he's reversing himself. even admitting on Air Force One that these tariffs can raise prices, something shoppers have felt every day, every time they go to the grocery store. Analysts say the timing isn't a coincidence. In exit polls, voters say that they're frustrated with the economy and the higher grocery bills. And that frustration, they say, is what helped Democrats pick up key wins in several of those states that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago during election night. So we'll see. No word on when they'll actually start to see those. We'll see those prices come down. But he did sign that order on Friday to bring down the cost of about 200 grocery items that we buy, our basic items every day at the store.
That's a little bit of relief.
Yeah.
A little bit of relief.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's front page news. Thank you, Mimi.
Coming up at 7, we'll talk Epstein files and the surprising person now calling for their release.
All right.
Hey, Mimi, you look like somebody first lady this morning.
Okay, I'll take it.
She said, I'll take it.
Michelle Obama, I'll take it.
All right.
Who pastor you married to?
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get some front page news. Start off with some quick sports. Now, the Dolphins beat the Commanders. The Packers beat the Giants. Texas beat the Titans. Bears beat the Vikings. The Bills beat the Buccaneers. 49ers beat the Cardinals. The Broncos beat the Chiefs. Eagles beat the Lions. Ravens beat the Browns. The Rams beat the Seahawks. The Steelers beat the Bengals. And the Jaguars beat the Chargers. Now, in Monday Night Football, the Cowboys are going to lose to the Raiders.
Nah, I mean, we'll win that game, but I'm not staying up for it. I'm not staying up to watch a 2-7 team and a 3-5-1 team, even though I love my Cowboys. I'm not staying up past my bedtime, rather. My bedtime's 9:15.
You ain't going to miss nothing.
Probably, man.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MV, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this morning?
Peace,
Good
Mimi.
morning, girl.
Good.
Good morning. All right, well, we're starting this hour with the fallout from those Jeffrey Epstein files released late last week and the political shockwaves they're still sending through Washington. Now, lawmakers, they released more than 20,000 pages of documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and one email involving President Trump is dominating the headlines. In the message, Jeffrey Epstein's brother, Mark, tells Jeffrey to ask Steve Bannon if Vladimir Putin has a photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
Damn!
What?
Now, because Bubba is a well-known nickname for Bill Clinton, people immediately assumed it was him. But Mark Epstein is now trying to shut that down, saying that the message was just a humorous private exchange and Bubba is not Bill Clinton. He didn't say who Bubba actually is, leaving even more questions. So this comes after the president, he's facing renewed scrutiny over his past relationship with Epstein, criticism that he calls a political distraction. We talked about this a little bit last week. Congress is gearing up for the next step. There's a petition that hit the required signatures. So now there will be a vote on Wednesday to test if they will release all remaining Epstein records. This push for transparency, though, it has opened a very public split between Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's one of Trump's closest allies. And Greene says her support for releasing the files is the reason Trump is turning on her. He attacked her repeatedly on social media, calling her a ranting lunatic and a traitor. Over the weekend, Greene told CNN she is now receiving death threats due to Trump's language. Let's listen to some of that exchange.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor. And that is so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
We have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country.
Yeah, I have no problem with people changing their mind, especially when it comes to anybody who supported Trump or voted for Trump, because I just think it's obvious, that he doesn't give a damn and what he's doing to the country. But I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't know why. She's doing what she's doing, but something ain't right. I don't know. I just it don't feel genuine.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't. It feels like there's some sort of ulterior motive, something happening there. But late last night, there's one more twist. After resisting efforts for days, President Trump suddenly reversed course. He's now saying or telling House Republicans that they should vote to release the Epstein files. On social media, he wrote, "We have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democratic hoax perpetuated by radical left lunatics."
Now, hold on, Mimi. Did anybody ask him about the pee sucking rumors? Like, I mean, did he have to clear up any of those rumors? Like,
you know what? He was asked by reporters, and I think he went off into some tangent about who are you with? Fake news, fake reporter. You're an awful reporter, and he kind of just went into that whole rant that we've heard him say before. He did not, specifically address that. So no.
Yeah, I mean, because Bubba's not Bill, don't mean that that's not something to still be asked about. I mean, I want to know if,
who Bubba is. Who is Bubba? Really something Bubba?
Are there incriminating pictures of our president out there blowing on Bubba? Like, that's wild.
It is wild. So we will see on Wednesday, because the House is going to vote. And if they vote to release all the Epstein files, then everything should come out. And so hopefully there will be some answers in there if who Bubba is and
sound crazy,
all of that.
Yeah, I don't know if any of this is true, but I was kind of looking forward to Bill Clinton having to come out and say I did not have sexual relations with that president. Because I was like, damn. So Bill Clinton's whole career is about to be defined by blowjobs. Like damn.
Yeah. Well, we will see, Charlamagne. You know what? We are going to move on because there's so much more news. As of 6 a.m. this morning, the Transportation Department has officially ended the emergency flight cuts that caused thousands of cancellations nationwide. So during that shutdown, the Department of Transportation, they first froze flight reductions at 6%, and they lowered it to 3%. As more air traffic controllers began returning to work. Now, that cut of 3%, which was in place at 40 of the major busiest airports, that's what was lifted at 6 a.m. this morning. That means airlines can finally return to normal schedules just as Thanksgiving travel is set to kick in. And there's another major move affecting flyers this morning. The Trump administration, they have quietly withdrawn a proposal from the Biden era that would have required airlines to pay passengers up to $775 in cash compensation for significant delays and cancellations. Now, the rule, it never went into effect, but it would have given U.S. travelers protection similar to what passengers already have in Europe. That's where airlines have to pay you when they don't stick to their schedules. Now, without it, airlines, they still must give you a refund, but they do not have to pay extra compensation if the disruptions are their fault. The Department of Transportation says it's pulling the rule as part of their deregulatory effort and claims forcing airlines to pay that money would have driven up prices. Democratic lawmakers, though, they are urging the administration to keep the rule, calling it simple common sense. If an airline, if their mistake costs families money, then the airline should help cover it. What do you guys think? If the airline, should they compensate passengers when they have to change their flight and it disrupts their whole entire flight?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You don't know, people's itineraries are very tight, and it's an inconvenience.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. And as we were talking earlier, Thanksgiving is next week. And if you're already feeling a little anxious, it's not just you. A new round of national surveys, they show that the stress is real. And it's not just about keeping the meal on the table. 71% of Americans say Thanksgiving is stressful. That's about 7 in 10 people who admit the holiday brings a lot of pressure, the planning, the hosting, the cleaning, the juggling of everyone's schedule. But the number one thing that people worry about, can you guys guess what that is?
Being around people, being around family.
I have no clue.
Okay. Conversation. They say that nearly 60%, nearly 60% of people are nervous about political talk and how it's going to spark tension at the table. They say 1 in 4 Americans say they've actually had to change their Thanksgiving plans to avoid those family arguments altogether. And here's something else people can relate to. 81% of Americans say that they have that one relative who was absolutely going to start the drama, and everyone already knows who that is. The good news, though, even with all that stress, 94% of Americans, they still plan to celebrate Thanksgiving. Most say the traditions, the family time, they are worth the awkward moment.
That's why you got to be the family member that causes the drama, so you always set the tone. You got to be the one that they don't see coming.
Oh my God.
Okay? So when you that person, you set the tone. Don't let nobody else come in there and set the energy for you. What's wrong with you?
We ain't got that problem. We only got one family member that's a Cowboys fan. man. He's the only one that we beef with the whole time. That's him. Others that nobody cares about none of that other stuff.
Rome is the family member for me.
Oh, for real?
Yes, Rome coming to my house with all 5 of the kids and just go and drink too much and just tell you know why I had a problem with you and go down the line to everybody.
But see, the problem is when he bring his kids, does his kids respect your place or do they jump on the couch and do the stuff?
No.
Like,
They respect my place. Yeah, Rome do a pretty good job of disciplining his kids. They're not untrained or anything like that. It's Rome.
It's Rome. Okay,
yes.
Rome is the.
Make sure Rome get an advance copy of Tell Deaf Do We Parent before Thanksgiving. Add a little razzle dazzle to Thanksgiving.
Gosh, and him dropping this book, he gonna have some things to say for real. God damn.
Thank you, Mimi.
All right, well, that's your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more news stories, follow the Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app or visit BINnews.com.
Peace, Mimi.
Thank you, Mimi.
Thank y'all.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?